Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is obviously the summary version of my podcast episode that aired yesterday, and I am super excited to share this video with you because it means so much to me and it's really helped me. And today's video is going to be more like a coaching session that I would often do or have with my clients. There's a particular exercise that I'm going to go through with you today, and at the end of the video I will post the answers to my questions when I started to do this exercise. So today we're going to go deep, 7 levels deep, if you will, into your why. The big reason why you do the things that you do, and why is it so important for you. So if you ever have days when you just don't feel like, getting out of bed, you feel super unmotivated, and yes, we all get days like that, but when those days drag on and you simply lose interest in what you were trying to achieve or what you want to do, and then you suddenly find yourself jumping from one thing to another, or worst yet, you invite that horrible friend, Negative Nancy, Miss Penelope, procrastination, to the party, then things have gone completely downhill. But we want to get rid of Negative Nancy, and we definitely don't want to invite Penelope procrastination to the party. We want to invite and reintroduce you to your truest, deepest friend, the one that will never let you down when things are going pear-shaped for you. And that, friends, is called your 7 levels deep why you do the things that you do. So before I go really deep into today's episode, first of all, I want to give you a little bit of context to today's video. So a while back, I read an amazing book by an author called Dean Graziosi. And this is the book here. It's called The Millionaire Success Habit. And in the book, Dean talks about a particular exercise that he done with a coaching friend. Incidentally, seriously, go and get this book. This book is absolutely amazing. It's life-changing. And it's a good read. It seems quite thick, but there's a lot of really useful information in there that will definitely help anyone that wants to go, that wants to take their life to the next level. So as I was saying, in the book, he goes through a exercise that he went through with one of his coaches. And the exercise is called 7 levels deep. And the whole premise of the exercise is to get to the reason why. Why do you and I do the things that we do? Why do certain individuals are able to achieve such amazing results, even in the face of insurmountable odds, when things are going completely pear-shaped, when your whole world is suddenly disrupted, whether that be to a personal loss or you've lost your job, bankruptcy, whatever the case may be, when something so terrible happens to you and you have all of the reasons to give up. What is it with those individuals that are faced with such challenges that stop them from giving up, and they still remain rooted to their big why? They remain motivated even when things are going really difficult for them. And this is something that I can personally talk about because, as you know, if you're new to my channel or you already know about a bit about my background story. So approaching this year, actually, it will be 3 years since I lost my eldest daughter. And in that moment, during those really difficult, dark days, months, and now, we're approaching 3 years into our grief, I could have easily given up on my dream. I could have easily decided, and I would have been justified, right? Because, no parent should ever have to suffer the trauma of losing a child. But I could have easily thrown aside all of my hopes and dreams, everything that I wanted for myself. I could have just put a stop to it and just said, I'm not in the mood. I definitely don't want to rebuild the business that we started, which is Sugar Plum. Pictures in the background there. I could have easily decided that, I don't want to do the business anymore. I don't want to be a coach anymore. How can I coach someone when I couldn't even, spot the signs of my own daughter suffering? But I didn't, because each time I wanted to give up, each time I was faced with such a huge challenges, I always remembered the 7th level to my why, which I will share with you at the end of the video. And there's something that all of us need to fully understand, is that when you're embarking on something that you have never done before, you are going to fail, right? It is normal. If you've never trained for a marathon, it's inconceivable that you'll be able to get to the starting line and run that marathon and complete it, right? You're not going to be able to do that if you haven't trained for it. You are going to fail. And that is the same with everything in life. If you've never done something before, if you're doing something for the absolute first time, even if you have maybe a little bit of a background, you're still going to fail, because this is a foreign thing to you. You're now in uncharted waters. And the same thing was for me. I've never set up a teenage brand before. I've never ran an online business before. I don't have a background in fashion, but I felt passionate enough about the business. I knew that there was a gap, if you will, in the market. And I knew that as a parent, as a mum, lots of other mums would resonate with the story of our business. And that was what was keeping me going. And I knew that with each challenges, and every day, I am not even joking, every day, we can have really high days of sale, and then suddenly, in the midst of our euphoria that, we're getting sales and, we're getting lots of great feedback from customers, on the other hand, there will be something else that will happen, And each time I feel as though me and my little team, we've gone through yesterday's challenges, today's challenges will happen. But I never, ever, ever feel discouraged, because I am constantly reminded. I remember my 7th why. And I'm going to go through the exercise with you. But I just want everyone to know the whole premise of why this exercise, this 7 levels deep, is such an amazing exercise. Because the thing is, for everything that we go through in life, for everything that we want to do, there is always an underlying motive. There is something that is deep rooted in each and every one of us that allows us to say, okay, then I want to go all in with my dreams. I want to bet on myself, whether it's for promotion at work, whether it's, in a relationship, even parenting. There is always a deep rooted reason why we do the things that we do. And oftentimes when we start to ask ourselves these questions, we're either like, you hear this phrase often, your why should make you cry. Yes, that is absolutely true. Your why should have consequences. Absolutely. There should always be a reason, a consequence for you not following through with your actions. So what happens if you don't do X, Y, and Z? What happens if you're not able to secure funding, or whatever the case may be, for you to take your dreams to the next level? And unless you identify with what your why is to you, what is unique to you, and in your particular circumstances, you are never ever going to be able to push forward and move yourself to the next level. And it's also the reason why lots of different people, they start something, and maybe things haven't gone well for them at the start, and then they give up, and then you suddenly see them doing something else, or they get this new job and they decide, oh, actually I don't really want to do this job, I don't like my boss, don't like my supervisor, I don't like my team, and then they move on to a new job. Whatever the case may be, unless you understand what your 7 levels of why is, unless you go 7 levels deep into what motivates you, what will help you jump out of bed each and every morning when you don't feel like it, when it seems as though the world is against you, the universe ain't even giving you a break. Once you understand what your 7 levels of your why is, then you'll be able to do anything, and you will be amongst the greats. Yes, you will. You'll be amongst the greats in your world, because you would have had something in you. You understand what it is that you're doing. And here's the beauty of doing this little exercise, is that the exercise is for you, okay? Nobody else needs to fully understand what your dreams are. Nobody else needs to understand what your motives are. Do you know why? Because these motives, your dreams, your passion is for you. When people say, oh, I want to make my children happy, or I just want them to be proud, and all the rest of it. Yes, all of that is fantastic, but you've got to remember, you're doing this for who? You, because you are the most important person in your world. This is your life, and you've got to learn to take personal responsibility. And one of the first things you can do to gain back your power and take that responsibility is to understand what your 7 levels of your why is. So I've given you a little bit of a synopsis, I've gone into a little bit of background, and now let's start going into 7 levels deep into your why. So you are going to need a pen and paper, or whatever it is you use that you want to write down some of the things that I'm going to share with you now. So the first thing, your first level always starts off with why is it that you want to do what it is you want to do? So let me give you an example. If I were to say to you, if I were doing this with a coaching client, maybe that's probably easier. If I was doing this with a coaching client, I would say I would ask the question, something like this. Why is success so important to you? And oftentimes, the first answer, when you start delving into your why, will often always be something like, the reason why I want to be successful is because I want financial freedom, right? And then I would come back with a second question, which is your level 2, with why is financial freedom so important to you? And then you start to build down to your 7 levels by backing up or asking another why from your previous answer. So I've asked, why is financial freedom important to you? And the person or my client might reply back with, because I want to retire early. I want to buy lots of lovely things. Whatever the case is, you build on from that answer, and then you continue to ask the why from every preceding question until you get to level 7, till you get to your 7th level, your 7th answer. And oftentimes, more often than not, your 7th answer, when you get to your level 7, that will be your real reason. Okay? Because oftentimes when you ask people, why do you want to be successful? Why is money important? You always answer first with your head. But as you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into each question and asking why is that important to you? Why do you need this to happen? You suddenly get deep into your heart question, and you often arrive at your heart question from around maybe 5 or 6. When you get to like question number 5, question number 6, when you get to those 5 and 6 level, that's when most people really start to get to their real heart question, because oftentimes we always think that we need to say something, you know, that everybody else needs to hear, but that's not often the real reason behind our why. It's not often the real reason why we want to do something. It's not often the reason that we are so passionate about the things that we do. And so when you start to really ask yourself these questions 7 times, and I've actually gone deeper than 7. I've gone to level, I think I've gone to level like 15 actually, and I just kept on asking myself, you know, why is this important? Why do I need that? And as you keep digging deep into each of your answers, then you arrive at the point, you arrive at your heart answer. And as I said, I'm going to share my answers after this video. I did think about trying to read the questions and answers, but it didn't really work out very well. So that's why, incidentally, it's important that you listen to my podcast, because I actually read out the questions and I go into a lot more detail in my podcast. So now that you fully understand what the 7 levels of your why is, I hope that you'll be able to spend some time in asking yourself these important questions. So remember, you're going to start off with your first question, and I use the example of why is success important to you. You can be super specific in your question. You can really dig deep. So if your question is something like, why do I need this job? Why do I need to take this course? Why do I want to move to another country or to another area? Why do I need to save money? Why do I need to leave this relationship? Why do I need to remove or change my friendship group? Though that these examples can be your first question, and then you just start building down. You ask yourself why from your question, and then you just keep building down and down until you get to level 7. And it's really important that you get to level 7, because I've had clients that couldn't get past level 3, and they really believe that I don't have any other answers, so it's not true. If you really dig deep, because you've got to remember, we're in the personal development business, and it can be incredibly uncomfortable, as I found when I did this exercise, asking, you know, some really hard questions that we often sidetrack, or we suppress them at the back of our mind, just simply because we don't really want to deal with them. We don't want to deal with them. But when you get into the habit, when you start this process, start this exercise of getting to the reason why you do the things you do, why is it important that you have X, Y, and Z? Why is it important that you do this? Why is it important that you apply for this job? Why is it important that you lose weight, take care of yourself? Why is it important that you reduce your spending? Once you understand the reason behind why you do the things that you do, you will be super motivated. And procrastination Penelope, negative Nancy, those two will be out of your life, and you'll be able to really, I promise you this, I absolutely promise you this, you'll be able to live life on your terms and fully understand that it is never ever too late to design the life that you want. But in order for you to get there, you need to know what is the motives behind it. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, please like and subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and I look forward to sharing yet another video with you next week. Look out for the podcast on Tuesday. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.